everybody, and welcome back to the channel where we're doing another speed drawing. As requested, a lot of people have been kind of liking these a lot more, and so I'm going to be doing them a lot more because I still have loads of these to edit down from my Twitch schedule. So thank you so much to my Patreon Andy for requesting this video again. You really do like my speed drawing videos, so thank you so much. So today we're drawing Rekka from the Bad Batch in an angry face emote, let's say, which is something that you kind of would think of for this character when you first meet him, but then you realise he's actually a sweetheart. So this is going to be a pretty interesting video for me because I'm going to talk to you for about 10, maybe 15 minutes about the Bad Batch and about Rekka and how he is actually my second favourite character from the Bad Batch, and how it breaks my heart that he doesn't have as much character development as he really deserves, and all sorts of things like that. Now, when he's first introduced in the Clone Wars. If you didn't know that, this is a Star Wars episode, my guys, my girls, and my theys. So obviously when he was first introduced, there was very limited knowledge about him, and when you get the Clone Wars character book, there is still not an awful lot of information about him, and so I'm going to let you know what they say about that, and we're going to go through that. Obviously, he is a human clone, though he's a heavily deviant, as Tech likes to call them, but genetically modified human clone based on the phenotype or genotype of Jango Fett. I can never remember which one is actually correct. I have no doubt that some of my biology students, watchers, will leave a comment down below. Please do, it would be really helpful. He is absolutely massive at 1.98 meters or 6 foot 6 inches. Now, he looks a lot taller in a lot of the clips that you see of the Bad Batch and Clone Wars than the others in the Bad Batch, but you're going to be surprised when you find out that Tech is 6 foot 4 inches, so only 2 inches shorter than him, as is Crosshair. Now, the thing about Tech, though, is he has a shrimp form. Every one of my office workers, I hear you, because I have a shrimp back too. We tend to just slouch all over the place, and Tech does that, which is why everyone's like, Tech is as tall as Hunter is. I'm like, no, if that poor boy would straighten his spine up, he would be 6 foot 4 inches. But because he doesn't, he's 5 foot 10. Let that be a lesson to all of you. We need to remember our posture, back straight, shoulders back, butts in. I know that can be difficult for some people, myself included, because my pelvis is really weird, but we don't need to go into that right now. His allegiance in the Clone Wars is obviously to the Republic, because if it was to anyone but the Republic, there would be issues more than you would think, and decommissioning would happen. It's never actually really included in the show or any of the resources about it as to what decommissioning is, and there's lots of different things within the fan base as to what decommissioning is. Like, do you just get your memory wiped and reprogrammed, which was shown in Mandalorian season 3. I'm still super pissed about that episode, because why the fuck is Star Wars going the direction of all the bad guys win all the time and the good guys are evil? Don't get me started. I could rant on it for fucking forever, so I'm not going to do that. Or whether or not, you get melted down, put back into the breeding pot and turned into a completely different clone. We don't know what happens. I suppose if you write fan fiction, it depends on what you want to happen in the story as to what decommissioning is. I've seen some very interesting ideas along that it is just a brain wipe and a complete personality rewrite, not rewipe. So it could be that is actually the case. It does seem to make the most logical conclusion, let's be honest. His homeworld, if you can call it a homeworld, is of course Kamino, because every single clone kind of hails from Kamino. Actually, that's not true, because especially towards the end of the Clone Wars, there's Palpatine has a secret cloning station set up on Centax 3, where they are producing very watered down Jango clones, because by this point obviously Jango's DNA is becoming very corrupted, and they are starting to one of the reasons why the Bad Batch actually came about isn't just that they were going around going, let's trial genetic defected characters. I mean, obviously this is based on the original or EU or extended universe stuff, but I kind of like the idea, and I know that it is technically true in canon that Jango Fett's DNA kind of started to degrade, so they started like introducing other bounty hunters' DNA into it, of the genetics to try and see what they could do to back up Django's DNA, because he was dead. He'd been dead for 3 years by this point. Well, what you gonna do? And I still think it was really dumb that Palpatine got rid of all of these clones when he could have had the best ultimate fighting force for forever, because Kamino was his. Like, he could make them do it or die, you know? And in the end, he just got rid of cloning, which seems really... I mean, he didn't get rid of it because there obviously were other cloning things, because he was obviously, in canon and EU, was possessing clones of himself so that he didn't die. Dumb, but, you know, that's what he wanted to do with his time, so that's what he did with his time. So, predominantly, Wrecker's skills are obviously enormous strength, armed and unarmed combat. Now, an annoying thing that isn't listed in this is that he's also the demolitions expert. He is the one that you come in when you want to make a big thing go boom. With a big bada boom, I suppose, is the best way to put it. He also can teach people how to disarm these weapons. So he, as a demolitions expert, he can both set a boom and deactivate a boom. Of course, he's not going to want to deactivate a boom so much because he wants things to go boom. I mean, who doesn't want to watch things go boom? But when I think you consider it that it could be his brothers, though he doesn't really think of them as brothers, but anyway, when it's clones and people that are on his side, I think he's a bit more of the idea that he doesn't want things to go boom. So, yes, he's a demolitions expert, which is annoying that it's not listed as one of his key attributes when it is his key attribute. Okay, other than his strength. His strength is also one of his key attributes because he can pick up a nuke on his own, and that's fun for him, I suppose. He is, as we have stated several times, a mutated clone whose immense strength makes him the muscle of the Bad Batch squad. Again, very, very true. He does pick up a massive spaceship off of Cody. He loves combat and takes delight in reducing droids to scrap and blowing things up. The bigger the bang, the happier he is. Because of course he is. Because he is a sweetheart. He has a heart of gold. He is the very epitome of looks like he could kill you, is a cinnamon roll. Wrecker has a dark, twisted sense of humour, but he's fiercely loyal to his fellow Clone Force 99 clones and anyone else whose ability to fight proves worthy of his respect. Yes, kind of, I think. We do love Wrecker. Like I said, he's my second favourite Bad Batch member. Him and Tech are kind of joint. I'm really sad to say that as much as I love Echo, he hasn't had as much development as he could have had in the current 2 series. And yeah, I think everybody but Hunter needs a lot. Well, Hunter needs a fuck ton load of work done on him because I do not like Hunter, and I think that, and I hate the amount of people that are going as the older sister. Now, as the older sister. Oh, not older sister, he's older brother, but you know what I mean. As the older sibling, he has to take care of everybody. And I'm like, I'm an older sibling. I had to take care of 6 grandchildren and other people's kids when I was a kid. Myself, I was 12, so roughly about the age Hunter is in the Bad Batch. Yes, he's 12. And I made sure that everybody was okay and safe. Everybody. I didn't leave anybody behind. If a new kid was added into the group, I made sure the new kid was looked after by other people so I could do my predominant job of looking after everybody. You know, it's so frustrating to watch people go, well, I was the oldest sibling and I would take care of the youngest. It's like, technically she's older than all of you. Yes, she's a child, but so are you all technically. Good Lord. Sorry, I could go into the Bad Batch for ages and how I'm so angry at some of their writing choices, but Hunter is like the worst for me, and he's the one that everybody else loves, and it's just, oh my god, why? So, obviously he was first introduced in the Mayhem on Anaxis, where the Anaxis campaign, he has an awful lot of fun because he gets to lift up gunship wreckage, he destroys lots of droids, he damages separatist equipment, and causes the kind of mayhem that he likes best. In the battle's climax, Anakin Skywalker lets Rex blow up an entire separatist battleship, and the massive commando has rarely been seen so happy, which is kind of cool. Yes, Wrecker is an absolute sweetheart, and I think that Wrecker needs an awful lot more kind of development, but we've only got 1 more season left of the Bad Batch, and I'm not gonna lie, this video is being recorded when when Star Wars has been just absolutely teasing the trailer when it really shouldn't be. It should be a point where the trailer should be out by now. You've released trailers for everything else, and it just feels like they are letting this wonderful series that they've created die so that they can then like not do any more animation, which just sucks, because this series, the Clone Wars series, the Bad Batch series, has been such a beautiful series to help people. Like, I am well known for originally, when my friends met me, not liking Star Wars at all. And there is a long convoluted story, because I actually was a really big Star Wars fan when Phantom Menace came out, because Wrecker's amazing and he needs more character development. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Do excuse the rant at the end. Take care. I'll see you next time, everybody. Have fun and goodbye.